So today we are going to learn about OBIEE graph development. Before we start developing with the OBIEE graph development, first we need to have our OBIEE services up and running, and moreover we need to start with the OBIEE services. Once we install OBIEE on our machine, where we can find our OBIEE services is, you should go to Start All Programs, click on Start All Programs, click on Start All Programs. Click on Start All Programs, and here we can see Oracle Business Intelligence folder. Once you click on Oracle Business Intelligence folder, move your cursor onto Oracle Business Intelligence. Down we can see Oracle Business Intelligence. Here we can see Start BI Services. We need to select Start BI Services. Once we leave it like that, it will take 5 minutes of time to get started with all the services. So here we can see first it starts with WebLogic admin server. So next it's going to start with BA server. Next it's going to start with OPM and CTL services. It will take a few minutes of time to get started with the entire services. Let's wait. Once the services get started, we'll start working with the graph development. Here we can see services get started with admin server. Now administration console is available and it is started, and again it is starting with BA server 1. Once the BA server 1 comes to the running mode, then it will start with OPM and CTL services. Once the OPM and CTL services is up and running, then you will be able to pop up with an Mozilla Firefox or somewhere. OBIEE tries to pop up with an analytics page for the login. We need to log in with WebLogic and WebLogic 123 ID. Not now, once the services get started, it is getting started, and the other window also should come to the running mode. We need to wait till then. Now it started the services, and it will try to pop up a space here into your browser. Now it comes with 500 error. We need to wait 1 minute, and after that, like if we refresh the page, what happens is that page is going to show us like how the refreshed page will show us the login page for our analytics page. Just try refreshing the page. Yeah, now we got our analytics page. We are able to log in here with our WebLogic user ID and password. Type here WebLogic. There it is already there, select that, and password type as WebLogic123. That is my admin password, and you guys give your own admin ID password which you have created during the OBIEE installation. Now we can see here, as I told you in the previous session, like what are the recently opened reports or recently built reports, everything we can see here in the recent. And if you want to create a new analysis, we need to go to the right side corner top and click on new. Right side corner top, and once we click on new, just beside the open we can see new. Yeah, under that new, it is a single drop down list where we can select the analysis. Once we select analysis, we can select a subject area which we built from our RPT development. So we are selecting training subject area. Click on training subject area. Once we selected training subject area, on the left side we can see subject area and their related tables and the columns which we are having. And in this subject area, now my analysis and my requirement, I want to select some set of columns for my report development, which is in graphical format. For that, from the left side, I expand time. I'll select per name year, double click on per name year, so that it will be added into selected columns. Next, I'll minimize my time and I will expand my product. And I will select, double click on brand, brand will be selected. I'll minimize product and I will select customers. I'll double click on customer name will be selected. Once we select any unexpected thing, we can go to the corner and select delete. It will be deleted. Customer name is selected, and from base facts we want revenue. This is the customer analysis. He wanted 4 columns in this. Now he wants to filter some customer names to be filtered. For that, we'll move our cursor onto the selected customer name column corner from the drop down list. We'll select filter. From the values drop down list, we can select the values. We'll select 5 to 6 customers. A from Abhishek Arya, and there we can see more search. Once we click on more search down, it will open a window where we can search customer names as per the alphabetical order. So first we selected 3 customers from A. Now if we type there B, on the top we can see B, space where we can type. Just beside the start we can see a space where we can type B. So that once we click enter, we can search all the customers who starts with name B, or we can provide, if we want to search a specific customer, we can provide the customer name also. Here I'll select 2-3 customers from B, 1 customer from B. Select a customer and select, double click. Once we select and double click on it, it will be added. Next, I want to select some customer from C. Just for my understanding, I am just giving each and every customer alphabetically. So I am just adding it, and I want to add one more customer from D, F. If I click OK, these customers were selected. So once I click OK, these customers will be added here in the filters. Okay, now we want to see the results. On the top left side corner we can see beside the criteria results tab. Once we click on results tab, it will take time to display the result. It is displaying the result in a by default title view and a table view in the compound layout. First we need to provide the title for this report. For that we'll click edit button on top of the title. At the corner of the right side of the title we can see an edit button, small pencil kind of symbol. Yeah, once we click on that edit button, here we can check out this option, display as saved name first, and we'll provide a title, customer revenue, customer space revenue. And at the corner we can see A. If we click on it and we can see that A, we can change some font color. We'll be providing some font color, some bright color, blue or something. Click OK. Once we click OK, once again we need to click OK. And once we want to display date and time when this report is started, there we can see started time, do not display. From the drop down list we will make it as date and time, display date and time. And from the right side corner, if we click on done button, so we can see title is created, customer revenue, but I want title as customer revenue graph layout. Once again we'll click edit and we'll provide that one as customer revenue graph layout. We'll click done from the right hand side corner. Now title is created. Now we don't want table view. Our client wants same analysis should be displayed into graphical layout. By default here we can see an table layout, but what happens, this table layout we don't want to use it. We want to make use of an graphical layout. For that, at the corner of the table we'll just click that close symbol, which is an delete symbol. From the corner of the table view, just below the title we can see the table. At the corner of the table view, just below the title view, we can see the table view. At the corner of the table view, we can see remove view from the compound layout. Once we click on remove view from the compound layout, it will be just removed from this compound layout, but it will be available in your table views. You may get a question like how we can add, if we want to add in future this table view. We'll just select this table view and we'll just click on this add view. It will be added into the compound layout. So we are just removing the table view in order to add the new view, that is the graph view. So here we are clicking delete for the table view, remove the table view. Once we remove the table view, now we need to add a new view. For that, we'll go to new view here and we'll go to graph. In the graph, we'll go to line. In that, we will add in the graph, we'll go to bar. This is one line bar, and in this graph, I want to add a graph line and a stacked vertical. So I'm selecting stacked vertical here. By default, graph will be displayed like this. In this graph also will have an edit button in the middle at the corner of the graph. Now we need to click on edit button in the graph to do the edit changes. Now in this layout we want to do an analysis. Layout will be displayed in the bottom. Just if we move our cursor onto the layout, we can expand the layout little bit upward. We can expand the layout little bit upward. So here we can move our cursor like this, and we can just expand this layout little bit upward. It will make us clear understanding how to move the columns. Now I want to add per name year into the sections which is available in this layout. Now dragging my per name year, I just want to drag my per name year column from here into sections. So here display as slider is an option which is available only in OBIEE 11G, as we discussed in our earlier sessions. This will be available onto the graph level prompt. So our customer would be interested to filter each and every year in this slider. If he moves his slider to 2009, 2010, this will be get filtered each and everything. Now our customer name should be vary by color and an horizontal axis. So now once I click done, please see the result, how it looks different. Now here we can see each and every customer name showing in one color. Those customer names were displaying here, and each customer name is showing with one color on each brand. If I move my cursor onto any one of the color, which pop-ups and show me what brand it is and what is the customer name and what is the revenue. Now I'll move my cursor onto green color to know the revenues of Rosie. So in Rosie in 2008, this is the revenue 4280 for a customer Rosie on a brand fun pod. Is there any revenue on the home view for the Rosie? There is no revenue for the home view for Rosie in 2008. So we can see here, anyone can easily understand and analyze the things, how the customer revenues are going on. Now if I click play button in my slider on the top, if I click play button, it will slide to 2008. Once we click pause, it will be there in the pause. So we can just manually move that to 2009, and here we can see Rosie is not having any revenues in FunPod and Home View in 2009. What is the revenue I want to analyze in 2009? Rosie on Bistec, what is the revenue? So I'll move my cursor onto 2009. I'll filter 2009 values. Here I'll move my cursor onto green color to analyze the Rosie's analysis is 6444, and we didn't find Rosie available into home view in 2008. In 2009, Rosie's analysis of revenue is not available in FunPod as well as home view. Now we are going to 2010. We'll see there how Rosie performance is there. We can see here it is available in the Bitstack with 1890, and for FunPod it is highest revenue 7308. That means in 2010 Rosie in a group of brand FunPod, she is having a revenue of 7308. This is how we can make very clear understanding for the customer to analyze the things and to make use of it. So let us save this graph. For that, on the right side corner top we can see a save button. We'll click on save, and we'll be saving this into our shared folder. Under that we'll be going to training. In this we'll save this one title as customer revenue graph layout 1. Customer revenue graph layout 1. If I click OK, this one will be saved. Now next analysis is, for that again once again I'll develop a new report and I will try to create one more analysis in the graph. For that I'll go to new and select analysis. and I will select training subject area, and I will select same set of columns. From time I will select per name year. From product I will select the brand. From customers I will select customer name. From base facts I will select revenue. And here I don't want to filter customer names from the customer by selecting an value, but already I am having a predefined filter which is available, which I saved in the previous trainings. Like to drag and drop it, it will be filtering with the customer names. For that, from the left side corner I will expand my shared folder. In this I will expand my training folder. Under this I can see into the subject area content, I can see a filter training subject area. Under that we are having customer filter. Once we double click on it, it will ask whether you want to add it. Apply the saved filter. Yes, I want to apply. So customer filter is applied. That means this is saved filter which I have done in my previous analysis. Now I'll click on results tab. Results tab, here it is showing with my table layout. No, I don't want table layout. Just I'll remove the table layout first. And I'll give title customer revenue bar graph in 3D. I'll give the title. Let's give the title. Let's give the title by editing the view. So we'll give title. First of all, we need to check out display as saved name, and we'll give the title customer revenue bar chart in 3D. That means customer revenue, customer result change now. He wants the display should be done in an 3D. So we will change it to 3D. Now we'll click done from the right hand side corner. So till now we have seen a graph displaying in 2D. Now we'll try to make it available into 3D. For that, first we need to add a graph. For that, we'll go on to the top, new view, and we'll select a graph bar stacked vertical. Now we'll click edit in the graph, and we'll just expand layout little bit upward. Now in this analysis I want brand to be filtered. That means I want brand to be into sections. So I will drag and drop my brand column into sections. And I'll select display as slider for my brand. And I want each customer name should be placed into vary by color horizontal axis. Now once I click done, you see the analysis how it changed. Click done from the right hand side top corner and see the analysis. It shows with, before it is showing us 3 brands were selected and year is available in the filter. Now customer is trying to analyze in such a way brand wise how the revenue is displaying. So once here in Bitstick, if I want to see Adam's revenue, if I move my cursor onto dark color which is displayed for the Adam, so we can see what is the customer name in 2009 and what is the revenue. Before we have seen the same analysis with the brands. Like this we can do the analysis change as per the customer requirement. Now brand is in filter. Now it is displaying 3 years result for a single brand which is Bitstick. Now we are trying to play button for the brand on the top. We are going to stop at fun pod. and we'll see the analysis how customer performance in each year on a brand fun pod. So 3 year of analysis for a fun pod can be get stopped at fun pod filter, and we can make the analysis done. Now we'll click play button, it will navigate to the home view. Last analysis where 3 years of analysis, how each customer, he is the top scorer in 2010 on a particular brand home view. Who is that? Like he is an Hardy. So here we can see what is the revenue for Hardy and how the revenue is looking. Now we'll save this. We want this same chart into 3D. For that we'll click edit in the graph. There we'll have an option on the top 2D. We'll select it, change to 3D. There at the corner here we can see 2D. We'll change it into 3D. So once we click done, we can see how the graph changes. We can see here graph turned into a 3D chart. Okay, now we will save it. Save it as customer revenue graph layout 3D. We'll give it as 3D. Click OK. So this one is saved. Now I want to make same graphs which are displaying in bars, right, which is showing in a rectangle kind of shape. Now I want to make this look like a triangle kind of shape. How I can do the analysis? For that I'll click edit in the graph view. And here on the top by default it will be a default. We can select and we can change the visualization of your line, bar or something else, whatever it is. Now I want to make it look like a triangle. Now let's see how the result looks. It's an 3D triangle. Now we can save as this one, the same analysis, 3D triangle. So I clicked on save as, so it will be saved as a 3D triangle. Next, our client he don't want brand to be displayed in the slider. He just want each brand wise revenue should be shown. For that we'll click edit in this. And here we'll select display as slider out. So once we click done, we can see each brand wise reports got separated. That means graphs. Brand bitch tech, how the analysis for 3 years. If we scroll down, brand fun pod, how the analysis is done. Brand home view, how the analysis. Before it is added as a filter, now it is showing in a single report. So here we'll type section triangular section. This is how we will build a graph layout with a bar. Let's see another line bar layout, how we can do the analysis. For that we'll go to new and select analysis and select the columns and select the filter. From time we'll take per name year, and from products we'll take brand, from customers we'll take customer name, from base facts we'll take revenue, and we'll filter some customer names. We'll go to the customer name corner and we'll filter 5 to 6, 7 customer names. From the drop down list values, from the drop down list of value, we can filter 5 to 6 customers. Select 5 to 6 customers here. Now we'll click on results. First we'll provide title, customer revenue, line graph, customer revenue line graph. Title, we'll click edit in the title and we'll provide check out the display as saved name, and we'll provide title as customer revenue line graph. We'll give some color for the title. At the corner of the title we can see A, and we'll give some color. Any color we can select and click OK. So this title is created. Click done. Now I don't want this table layout, so first of all I'll remove the table layout. Now I am going to new view on the top. New view. Just above the title we can see the new view. Small drop. Just above the title we can see small drop down list just beside the refresh. Just above the title view. Just above the title view we can see refresh. Just beside that we can see a small drop down list. Just beside that right hand side we can see a drop down list, that is new view, where we'll go to graphs. Here we'll go to graphs. In graphs we'll select line. Before we selected a bar, now we are selecting a line graph. How this line graph will work? Now we'll click edit in the graph. We'll just expand layout little bit upward to make it visibility clear. Little bit upward. Now if we scroll down from the right side we can see all the columns are available. Now we'll drag per name year into sections, drag and drop per name year into sections. And we'll select customer name into variable color. I think we selected customer name twice. Now we'll see how this one looks in real time. We can see each customer revenues in a line bar chart. That means a graph which displays customer names in such a way we are having total revenues of 21,000. But from here we can see the analysis how the customer is connected. That means we can see how the result for this particular rows is available. It is available till here, and this result is for, if I move my cursor here, so we can see the result for this is how a line bar will be provided. At the end corner, once you move your cursor, it will show you the revenues. The visual display is getting changed. The way how we designed a graph view is like we designed with bars and we designed with triangular formats. Here it changed, look like something different, like a bars, like a lines. A line will be drawn from a customer to the revenue pointing. If we move our cursor to the corner of the line, we will be able to see how this graph displays the customer revenue as an output. Now I want to display this one as display as slider. So I am selecting here display as slider. Now if I click done, we can see here slider is selected. If I move my cursor on to 2009, here it selects with 2009 result. If I move my cursor on to 2010, which shows me 2010 result. That is how, which shows your graph line results in a graphically changing way. So we can see here how the revenue changed for the customer, how the other customer got down. This is the way it will analyze, and it will show you each brand wise revenues in a line bar. Now we are going to save this one as customer revenue line graph layout. So this one is done. What is the next analysis we can do? So what we will do, in the same line layout we will see other options, what other things we can do. So I'm clicking edit in the graph. In the lines, we can see default looks like this. We can make it step line or curved line. Let's see if it changed, how it looks. This one is the step line graph, and we want to make it look like a 3D. It all depends on the customer requirement, how we are going to design a graph. So here I want, my client want it to be displayed into 3D, so I'm changing it to 3D. Once I click done, here we can see which shows the result in a 3D format. This is the 3D line available. We can see it is sliding. That means like it looks like something like laser kind of stuff. Now we'll save this one as 3D. And next we'll just remove this 3D and we'll make 2D, and we'll see how, if we want to change some color in the background of your graph should change. So I'm just selecting here 3D to 2D. If I go to graph properties here, every table will have a properties. I can adjust the width of my canvas, like by default it will be 640 by 330. This is the graph properties. And legend which we are displaying on to the right side, right, that we can change it onto the top or bottom, the display of your customer names. We can enable scrolling bar if you want to enable, and we can select the styling, background color if you want to select something like and we can give the If I click done, we can see the graph, how it displays something different. Like before, we have all the customer names onto the right hand side. We moved it towards the top. So legend is moved to the top. For legend, we applied a black color to be displayed, and for the background of the graph, we applied a light color to be displayed. This is my client requirement or my customer requirement. He wants a graph to be displayed like this. So we can make this one as legend on top. Once it is displayed, now the customer requirement changes. He wants this graph analysis need to be done in such a way. In the same layout kind of thing, he want to change step line to curved line. Let's see how the analysis looks. This is the curved line graph, and more we want other changes from the graph view properties. Titles and labels, we want to mark horizontal axis, orientation, scales, show or hide, like whatever it is. Like you want to define as thousands, you can make whatever you want. You can change, like font format, I want to apply this one with some color. Let's see how it will look. One is data marker, which will define the data. Display options, not on rollover, always I want to display. Number format, if you have decimals you want to display, treat as number or percentage, you can change the related things. Once you select OK, so click done. Let's see how the graph looks. Revenues are directly getting displayed, and onto the corner we can see it is displaying in thousands, 16k, 14k. So this one got changed and it is showing with bright color, and this revenues which are displaying, right, this is showing with value directly. Onto the home view, how the value for this customer is. Onto the fun part, how the value for this customer is, like this. We are not moving the cursor, by default it is showing the revenues. This is how we can make edit of the graph view properties. Next analysis, we have defined these kind of reportings and these kind of customers display with brands and all when in normal kind of graphs and line bar. And one more analysis is, let us assume 2 people or 3 people went to a pizza house or a Pizza Hut and they purchased 2 varieties, one is veg and non-veg. They want to share among themselves, like 3 people went to a pizza house and they purchased 2 pizzas and they want to share among themselves. So how much portion of each pizza will be shared among each person? It will be 33.3% by default. So in the same way, we are having years, 3 years, and on that we are having 3 different brands. In each brand, each customer is sharing with some revenue. Now we want to analyze in such a way how this customer revenue will be sliced and diced and it will be showcased to the customer or a client. For that, we'll go to new and create a new analysis. This kind of requirement can be achieved through a pie chart graph layout. From the left side, we'll select per name year and from the products we'll select brand. From the customers we'll select customer name, and from the base facts we'll select revenue, and from the drop down list of customer name we'll select filters. From the values we'll select 5 to 6 customer names. We'll click OK, and we'll click on results and we'll provide the title as checkout, and we'll give the title as customer revenue pie chart layout. Pie chart layout, and we'll give some color for this title. Once we click OK, title will be done. And now we'll remove this table layout and we will add a new view. On the top refresh button we'll see a drop down list, small drop down list. From just above the title we can see a refresh button. Beside that we'll have a new view. In that we'll go to graphs. In graph we'll select pie. Pie is one very important view in whatever requirement we are working, in whatever project we are working, we might be getting a pie chart layout. Now here we can split the revenues into different percentages in the pie. So for that, once that symbol is gone, like we can click edit in the graph. Once we click edit in the graph, we can adjust the layout little bit upward. Move the layout little bit upward. Yeah. Here in pie chart what happens, all our columns will be by default moved into excluded. We can find the columns into excluded. Now I want my brand should be in pies. That means 3 different brands, 3 different circles, 3 different pizzas. On each brand customer should be sliced, customer should be divided. So per name year should be into my sections. Now once I click done, which shows me a result showing 3 customers and per name year. I'll make it as a slider, display a slider. And I'll click done here. Now here we can see year 3 years revenue, and each year 3 brands customers were sliced. If we move our cursor onto any one of the color, and we can see what is the customer name and how the revenue is. But this is not the way we want, like this is the first analysis. So we will save as, and we'll give pie chart 1. Now we'll edit this graph. And here what we will do now is, now this revenue should display directly into percentages. Okay, for that we'll go to graph view properties. In this graph view properties, first of all we'll try to change legend to bottom. I want my legend display in the bottom. And next I will go to my tiles and labels. Here we'll have a data marker. Once we click onto the data marker, by default it is showing default on rollover. That means once we move our cursor onto the color, it is displaying the output. But I want it should be displayed as always. Once you select always, it will show percentage of total. Now once we click OK, once we click here also OK, and once we click done, now you see the result how it will display. It is showing you sliced area. Depending on the revenue, it is giving you the total percentage. That means that revenue based percentage is showing as an output. I hope like you all understood about this one. This is how you can make the slice percentage to be displayed in the output. Now we will save as this report. Pie chart 2. Now once again we'll click edit in the graph. And let's make this graph look like 3D. Let's see how this graph looks in 3D. We can see here graph looks something different when compared to 2D and 3D. Pie chart looks very different when we are applying it as in 3D. Once we click play button, it changes year-wise revenue. We can see here 3 years revenue as a percentage output in the pie chart. And we can observe here legend is moved, all the customer names were displaying in the town. Bottom we can see all the customer names getting displayed. Now we'll save this one as pie chart 3D. Okay. Next, one more very important thing here is, suppose my customer wants some portion of this particular sliced area should be displayed as a piece coming out of these slices. So how we can make that analysis display? For that we'll click edit in the graph. And we will go to graph view properties, and here we'll select styles, we'll select style and conditional formatting. Here we'll add a positions. One I added, and the second position I added. I have not selected any color. Let us see how this output looks. If I click done here, we can see two portions got splitted, right? Now I'll save as this one. In the next option, I'll split the remaining portions. We have 5 customers. So once we split 5 customers, it will be splitted with 5 customers. I'll click edit graph properties, styles, conditional formatting, and I'll select explore which is the option which need to be used for splitting. So this 5 were split. So click OK. And you can set the background colors or something, like if you want to make it transparent or some borders, whatever you want to do, we can do it. And more like I want this result should be displayed as an per name year like this. Now once I click done, let's see how the result displays here. We can see all the portions got splitted out, which gives very clear understanding. So here 4 portions, 5 which we have selected, so 5 portions got splitted. And here we can see each year wise how the split is happened. This is how we can make the analysis of graph layouts, 3 main different graphs. One is a bar chart, and one is an line bar, and one is an pie chart. These are the 3 major requirement graphs. So here we are saving it as split with all witches. So what happened, like we learned here in this session, like in this analysis, about 3 major different views of the graphs. One is the bar, and the other one is line, and other one is pie chart. And bar will be used for normal analysis, where a bar will be splitted with the customers, and a line chart will have different analysis, 2D and 3D, and curved, and then normal graph. And for the graph which is showing in a pie chart, where we can do the analysis for splitting the customer over each brand or an year, and the split can be shown output, and it can be displayed in a percentile format. So this is how we can make use of all the 3 different types of graphs in OBIEE 11G. This kind of graph analysis is available in 10G, but whereas visualization part, when it comes to the slider play, when it comes to the different types of analysis, these kind of analysis were not available in the older environment of our OBIEE. So this is how we can make use of different graphs in OBIEE. I hope like you all enjoyed this session. Thank you.